the Comedy Crossword Podcast.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of One Down, the Comedy Crossword Podcast. My name is Brendan Eyre. I'm joined, as always, by my co-host, Greg Warren. What's going on, Greg?
Hey, Brendan, how you doing, man?
I'm all right. I had a kind of an exhausting trip. We moved into this new house, so we drove down to Columbus to hit up IKEA. This is the Swedish furniture giant, and
a frequent clue on the New York Times crossword puzzle.
Yes, wonderful. Three vowels in a four-letter word. You're going to come up big on the New York Times crossword. That's why I went to do some crossword research.
Oh, good, man. Did you get anything?
I just saw it was spelled correctly.
Good.
So it was worth the 4 hours.
Worth the trip down. Yeah.
But a truck blew out. A truck tire blew out right in front of me on the way back. And there's a thing. Who cares what it's called? I think it's called an engine shield. It's basically a little plastic rubber thing that goes under your car that stops spray from coming up into the engine, dust and spray and stuff. And this truck tire blew out, and thank goodness he wasn't injured. We weren't injured, but we ran over this tire blowout, and it just wrecked that engine shield under my thing, which cheap repair, no big deal. But I don't know if you've ever been in this situation. There's nothing worse than driving a long way with something noticeably wrong with your car, because every single person wants to honk and alert you.
Oh yeah, let you know what's going on.
Yeah. I know.
Hey man. Hey, no, you're. Hey.
Yeah.
There's the bottom of your car's messed up, man.
The amount of people that honk and just pointed.
Hey, right down there.
I go. Yeah, I know. Guess what? I don't know how to fix anything, and I have to get home. So leave me alone. It's
an unnecessary. Everybody you should think before you ask questions. You know.
Yeah.
Or before you point something out, they know. You know.
Yeah. It was a long ride of getting honked at and pointed out my incompetent manhood because I don't know how to fix anything.
Did they? Were they? You sure they were pointing at that, or were they just talking about the fact that looks like a car that would not have air conditioning?
It could have been that. I mean,
I've been in that car. We've discussed that on the podcast. I took a 14-hour trip with you in that car. It was awful. I mean, it was in the dead of summer, and we had, out of the 14 hours, about an hour and a half of air conditioning.
It does work sometimes, which is almost worse. If you really, it's almost worse that it teases you.
Yeah, because you refuse to get a new car.
No, Greg, I've put literally 2 new cars worth of money into trying to fix that air conditioner.
Just give up on it.
I'm not giving up on it.
I know you're not a quitter, but sometimes it is time to quit.
Well, according to you, I mean, they could have been pointing out the air conditioner. They could have been pointing out, hey, look at this dirty grease ball driving. You
Look like sort of I mean, and this is a little bit stereotype, but you do look like a mechanic these days, with the hat on backwards and the long hair, the tattoos, the white T-shirt. The taxi driver poster behind you. You look like a mechanic.
I want to argue with you, but I swear to God, this is not a lie. 2 weeks ago, a woman asked me if I could take a look under her hood in the grocery store parking lot.
Yeah.
And I wanted to be like, I mean, I could take a look. You're not going to learn anything from it. I could just look at it and say, was there something you wanted me to see? Because
you're qualified to tell somebody that they have a better air conditioner than you.
Now,
you're like one pair of coveralls away from just being cast as a mechanic in every movie.
I'm glad you said cast, because I'm one pair of coveralls and 100% of car knowledge away from actually being a mechanic. No, I can do a few. I can change a tire. I mean, that's about it.
I can do that. I can do that, and I'm terrible. Yeah.
Now, something that was really cool that I thought our listeners would be interested in. I had a great chat with Olivia Mitra Framke, who's a New York Times crossword constructor, who we've worked with her before. She's had some great puzzles. I believe she's got a puzzle coming up this week. I had a great chat with her online. I learned some behind the curtain stuff that is very unexpected, Greg.
Really?
Yeah, very. So
are we allowed? Did you ask her if we were allowed to disclose this?
I asked permission. Yeah, I asked permission from her. In this part, I kind of deduced, excuse me. But really 95% of the work, according to Olivia, is the fill, what they call the fill. So that's actually just the answers and the theme. And the clue, and that makes sense because you or I could come up with clues. Now, they might not be as witty as of clues, but we could come up with clues for any word you give us. I mean, even if it's one we don't know, we could look it up and come up with a clue. So the real work is getting the words to fit together. Now, that part I had deduced. What was really crazy to me, and I thought very interesting, was that the editing staff at the New York Times, working under Will Shortz, will change sometimes up to 90% of the clues. 90% of the clues you turn in on your puzzle. And so she said,
but not the fill. The fill has to be the same because you have the.
I'm sure they may tinker with the fill if they think something could work better, but clue-wise, they'll change upwards. Up to 90%. She said the average is around 50%. And sometimes like the top guys, you're talking Eric Agard.
Yeah, Agard probably he gets just probably to feel good about themselves. The editing staff, changes 2 or 3 of Agard's clues, or maybe 4 or 5 of Trudeau's clues. They're not changing a lot of Chen's clues, I don't think.
Right.
Chen tends to work with somebody else. Maybe I wonder if when Chen sends one in, he's like, "Hey, these are mine,"
Yeah. Hey, leave these alone. The rookie did the rookie did these ones. Yeah. But I thought that was fascinating because I could see being a little kind of angry about that. As a comedian, when like you get something edited by someone else and you're like, no, that you just wrecked that joke. I could see that being a very frustrating process.
Well, you're going to have to put your ego aside because you came on this podcast 2 weeks ago to the day and said, I'm going to submit a crossword puzzle.
Yeah,
and you're a rookie and you're going to have to put your ego aside. And because I'm, based on what I know about you, what I know about this process, and what we learned from Olivia, I think you're going to probably have 97% of your clues changed.
I might be the first guy they ever changed 98% of clues and 89% of the fill. They just left 3 words that I wrote in there. But here's what I propose.
Okay.
Because this throws us into turmoil, Greg. Because much of our system that you and I run, clues of the week, Monday clue of the week, clue that shouldn't be a clue. This now is we don't know where it's coming from.
No,
so we have to proceed exactly. We have to proceed.
You stick with the creator, man.
Yes, we stick with the creator.
And I'll tell you what, you and I have had our problems with Shorts and some of his methods, okay? But the thing is, the guy he's if anything, he's unselfish. I mean, he doesn't put his name. He puts his name as edited by, but we had to find this out from Olivia. He's not out there saying, "Hey guys, Agard isn't doing all this stuff. It's me." Okay, so I think that he probably wants to give his creators credit.
Absolutely, and that's what I was going to say. We proceed as is, no changes to our system. But I do think that's fascinating information. And I'd like to thank Olivia for a little behind-the-scenes glimpse of how the crossword
we learn a lot. Works. We've been learning a lot, especially over the last few weeks, man. We learn a lot from these people.
Yeah, and the guys like me and you, we got a lot to learn. You know what I mean? That the tank needs topping off. I wouldn't even say top. I'm running on empty.
Well, I like that you're using a gas station metaphor in that you look like a gas station attendant.
Well, you've downgraded me. The mechanic is really the boss.
Well, you
of
told
the
me you didn't know
tender.
anything about cars.
You're saying look like. Okay, I'd say I can change a tire. Monday, August 10th. Lynn Lempel. Certainly have worked with Lynn. I like Lynn. The theme was things with keys. So you had 4 answers where the beginning of the answer had keys: organ donor, Florida room, Atlas rocket, lock of hair. So organ, Florida, Atlas, lock, they all have keys. And I love this for a Monday theme because it was easy, but it was a little more to it than your normal Monday theme. You know what I mean? It wasn't just throwing together 4 types of fruit or something like that.
Yeah. Once again, I didn't catch on to it.
There was literally a clue, Greg, that told you about the theme.
I know.
And
I just a lot of time.
What happens when you get to those clues that describe the theme? You just
I think
ignore
I
them?
just they just sort of fill themselves in with the downs, and usually when I start to identify a theme is when I'm like, I'm stuck. I need to use this theme. Okay, so
yeah, and I mean, look, that's not a bad thing. Generally, Monday through Wednesday, I would say you don't really need the theme.
right.
Frankly, the theme. I mean, you are blatantly disrespecting the constructor, the creator,
The cruciverbalist. I don't have a problem with Lynn Lempel. I've always been a supporter of hers.
Well, take the time to appreciate her theme.
She did a nice job. I just found it out now. Okay, 53 across. Play hyphen blank parentheses toy clay. The answer is dough, Brendan, and that right off the bat is the Monday clue of the week. Right out of the gate, Monday clue of the week, play dough. Now, if you're a child that grew up in America, you probably should just go ahead and say, you should know this clue. The fact that they put toy clay in parentheses, that kind of gave it away, right?
That's what brings it over the top to a firm Monday clue of the week. I want to run one by you because I found one that I thought. Now, do you have multiples coming up? Because I don't want to step on you.
No, man, you step on me all the time.
I want to.
But before we get to that, what is another clue they could have given for DOH?
Well, of course, you've got Homer Simpson.
Nice job. I knew you'd knock it out of the park. Yeah.
Those are the 2 they use for DOH. And
Yeah.
I wonder if there's any acronym. Department of... There might be something.
Department of Homer Simpson.
Dough, Greg. Yeah. Dough. Come on.
Flanders.
I want to nominate this, and you are, of course, the decider of Monday Clues of the Week. You own the horn. You're the horn master, so I can only nominate, and that's fair. 14 down, blank on the cob.
Is that Brendan? Is that avocado on the cob?
It's not. It's not. It was actually corn, Greg. It was actually yes. That is. There is. I don't know of anything else that's on the cob.
Yeah, that's man. I think yours is a little stronger, actually.
No, I think they're both Monday Clues of the Week.
Yeah.
Now we haven't done this segment in a while. 20 across, Greg, is the clue was addicts.
Yeah.
And this is the I forgot how to use a kazoo. Hold on.
Jeez.
This is the not a Monday clue. The answer was Garrett's. Garrets. Have you ever heard that term before? Were you aware of it in any way?
On one of the formative TV programs in my life, the Facts of Life, was George Clooney was actually on that back in the day when he was a young man. one of the main characters was Mrs. Garrett. So I imagine her and her family would be the Garretts. I don't think she had, a significant other or children, but I mean, like maybe, her and her sisters and her mom and dad were known at one time as the Garretts.
Well, that added nothing. What I was asking is,
I think a little color to the discussion. I think
it did. But have you ever heard attic referred to as a garret?
I just picked up on attic a couple months ago.
Now, so I think that is not a Monday clue. That is a higher level clue. And here's the
you're saying this does not belong on a Monday. It belongs on a Friday or Saturday. Does not belong on a Monday.
And this one I would accept on a Wednesday, I'd say.
But it kind of evens out, right? Because they did give us 2 Monday clues of the week.
Yeah. Well, Greg, I didn't even bring up 36 across fruit in Newton cookies. Which is
Brendan. Brendan, they do have Apple Newtons. They do have them.
Oh, do they? Okay, so that we're covered a little bit there. So that's
I think we know that they're all figs. Yeah.
But here's the worst part. A garret is actually, I looked it up. The garret is a top floor or attic room, especially a small dismal area, typically inhabited by an artist. So, Greg, I've almost exclusively lived in garrets my whole life. And I did not know what they meant.
I think I would say the whole part of New York City is filled with comedians and garrets, right?
Yeah,
Dismal.
As opposed to Jerry Seinfeld's Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee, I'd like a series called Comedians and Garrets Not Getting Paid.
There you go. Yeah.
48 down. What you can't have and eat, too, it said. Now, that is cake, Greg. That's easy to get. Of course, the classic saying, you can't have your cake and eat it, too. I've always had a problem with that saying. I don't know if you have. It bothers me because I know what it means. I know what they're implying, but it seems to me that in order to eat your cake, you in fact have to have it. In other words, how can you eat your cake if you don't have it?
Yeah, but you can have the cake and not eat it.
Which is an insane thing. So I think the idea of the quote is you can either have it or you can eat it. But once you eat it, it's gone and you don't have it. Who's just having cake as a collector's piece?
I keep a couple in the fridge, Yeah,
then you eat them.
No.
They're just display pieces?
Yeah, it's a mental toughness exercise that I put myself through. I just like to have cakes and things that I enjoy in the refrigerator, and then I don't eat them, and I know it makes me stronger.
That you are one of the strongest men I know, and one of the most. You could put any food item in front of Greg Warren, he will turn it down. He's iron. He's got an iron will when it comes.
Actually, I'm iron deficient right now. I think I got to go to a holistic doctor this weekend and get checked out. So I don't know.
Well, last week you were out of blood, so hard to say.
I did. Yeah, I said I thought I might be out of blood for 4 seconds. For 4 seconds, I thought I was out of blood.
Yeah.
I want to talk about 63 across, Gangnam Style musician. That's of course Psy, Psy. Now, this podcast is called One Down, and Brendan and I went through a lot of different iterations. Do you remember the one iteration that I was talking about that might involve this clue?
Yes, I do, and I was hoping it would come up.
Yeah. What was this? You want me to say what this podcast was going to be?
Yes.
For this almost this close, this podcast was close to being called Whoop-'em Crossword Style.
Whoop-'em Crossword Style.
Whoop-'em Crossword Style.
That song swept the nation.
It did. It did. I can't even remember why we went with One Down. Whoop-'em Crosswords. I think it's because we didn't know how to spell whoop-'em. It's Because when you
crossword style.
yeah, is it oompum or is it wampum, which is insensitive to Native Americans, I think, or I don't know if it's insensitive, but it is. It's a size South Korean. Yes.
Yeah, he's not North Korean. They're not getting many pop hits out of that.
They have plenty of pop hits. They just only stay in North Korea.
Yeah, they don't exactly make their way out.
No. Open crossword style. This thing, we're going to go over the top of this podcast, but we might have already gone over the top had we been open crossword style.
Open crossword style.
That was good. That was good. That was a little more Vegas-y the way you did it. You got to do it true to Psy.
That's a nice unintentional pun. True to size being a saying, and you said true to Psy.
Yeah.
I like that. Tuesday, August 11th. This was our boy Ross Trudeau along with
man.
Along with
He's
Rafkin.
I'd say Trudeau, since our last Dan gave us that spreadsheet. Was it Dan or was it Rod? Rod gave us a spreadsheet. Yeah. Trudeau is right up there, but he may be the number one guy now because he's had a couple lately.
Yeah, and I should mention to Rod that we appreciate he's sending me updated spreadsheets every week. So I'm going to get us set up going. It's hard with the Zoom, but I am going to get us set up going where I can consult the spreadsheet as we're doing it.
You're talking a multimedia thing.
I'm talking multi-screen. The way my brother trades stocks, Greg. I'm going to get about 6 screens going. I'm going to be monitoring NORAD in case a missile strike is coming your way.
Holy smokes, man.
Yeah. Now, that could be trouble given that between the two of our technical abilities, we've had to re-record upwards of 17 episodes. But I think
17 out of I think we're at 22 now.
Yeah, but I think I can manage 6 screens somehow. Great theme. I love the theme because it showed some real difficulty in finding the words. The theme was E-I-E-I-O. Common refrain from a children's song. But there were 4 long answers where the vowels, if you just read the vowels, they were E-I-E-I-O. Which
it was really cool. I thought Trudeau did a nice job on this one. And I got to tell you, Brendan, this is close.
And Rafkin.
Oh, sorry. I didn't know this was a duel.
Amanda Rafkin and Ross.
Oh, Trudeau. Yeah. She's worked with us before too, hadn't she?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah, I think I gotta confess, this was the closest I've come to not getting a Tuesday since I didn't get a Tuesday. It was really hard, and I got it down to where I kind of quit, and then but I didn't do solve, and I think I finally figured it out on Thursday.
Yeah. Well, I will say it was definitely harder than your normal Tuesday. First of all, my Wednesday time crushed my Tuesday time.
Yeah.
And I think I was roughly close to 10 minutes above my average Tuesday solving time.
I was at 46 minutes on this one. But I hung in there. Now, do you think that was more Trudeau or more Rafkin that made it hard?
I think, and this is information that I think will glean over time, because one of our big questions always has been, do you just submit a puzzle or do you submit it with the daily recommendation? I think if anybody, it's the editors, because I think this would have been a great Wednesday puzzle. It was a great puzzle. I just think it was hard for a Tuesday.
Yeah.
So
my only complaint on this puzzle?
What's that?
Now, where is old Mcdonald in this thing?
That would have been cool if they threw old Mcdonald or had a farm or some sort of reference there.
Old Mcdonald belongs in this puzzle.
Did old Mcdonald have a first name, or was he just so old that it kind of disappeared?
I've never heard his first name, I don't think.
I had a friend, Greg, and he had this cat, Panda,
growing
up on my street. And but then
God, I hope this goes somewhere.
Then the
Keep going.
cat got to be about 19.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it was the oldest looking cat you ever seen, and its name just became Oldie. And Panda disappeared, and for the next 4 years before it died, the cat was called Oldie. So I wonder if that happened to old Mcdonald. He just got to a certain age, and they called him Old.
Yeah, so he's like till he was about 60, he was Steve. Yeah.
Yeah. Steve McDonald had a farm. Then he got old. Kept the farm, though.
14 across, rumor starter. The answer is I hear. Okay. And Brennan, this is going to go a little bit farther back, and it may be a little bit of a stretch, but there was a song back in the 80s. It was called Rumors, I believe was the name of the song. And it was like a pop hit, and it was like, look at all these rumors all around. And it was sort of like the chorus was like sort of saying it's not nice to start rumors.
Yeah.
Okay. But then in the verse, one of the verses was, look at all these rumors all around. Rumors aren't good. And then he gets to the verse, he goes, did you hear the one about Michael? Hey, now come on, man. You're just doing what you said not to do. You're just doing the thing that you said not to do.
You're like one of those guys. You're like one of those old ladies. Like, hey, I don't like to start any trouble. You know me. I'm not one to spread rumors, but I did see Catherine coming out of
see,
Mike's
you're doing
house
what you said you
pretty
didn't
early.
do. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Now, 47 across, wolf pack vessel in World War II. This is, of course, U-boat.
Yep.
Now, Greg, here is a dilemma.
Yeah.
I do not know if I've told, because me and Greg, we're professionals, okay? We practiced the One Down Crossword podcast before it was released. I don't know if I told my U-boat story on an unreleased episode or a released episode. So now we're hit with the issue of, do I tell my U-boat story for fear of retelling a story, or do I give it to him anyway because it's a good story?
Well, I mean, you've already spent 6 minutes deciding whether to tell it or not, so just go ahead and tell it.
So I've been on a U-boat, and it is crazy. It's crazy how small it is and how many sailors are on it. Now, I wasn't in active service. This is a decommissioned U-boat. You can visit at the Museum of Science and Industry in Chicago, and it is very fascinating to go on a U-boat because they were not designed to stay submerged. They were designed as boats, essentially, that submerged when they attacked. But towards the end of the war, as the Allies figured out how to track them better, they stayed submerged for long periods of time. And it was basically just brutal because it was 60 men with no room anywhere, and it was just rank. But so I'm taking this tour of the U-boat, and I look over, and there's this little kid, and he's just picking his nose and wiping boogers just all over the control panel of the U-boat. And I'm going, you know what? Take that, Hitler. 70 years after you're dead, and we're letting our 5-year-olds rub boogers all over you, your top of the line equipment. Give it to him, kid. I said, do it for America, son. I don't think the museum appreciated it very much, but if you ever get a chance, check out that U-boat in the Museum of Science and Industry in Chicago. It's awesome. I believe it's also the home. It might be the home to. No, that's a different museum. The Field Museum is the home to Sue Trex.
Oh yeah, that goes way back to definitely before we were recording when you thought that it was Sue Trex. What was it? Yeah,
I thought there was an artist named Sue Trex,
but it was Sue the T-Rex. Yeah. So good booger story, Brendan.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Do you ever think they're on those boats and they get into a discussion, or they obviously are close together and they got mad at each other probably every now and then, you'd have to, and the guy was like, hey man, this feels a little bit more like a me boat than a U-boat. Do you think that?
I think it was more like I think it was more the captain would be like when two guys were arguing, he would go, "Gentlemen, this is not called a me boat. There's no me in boat. Only a you in boat." And they would go, "Sir, I think that is the same thing. It's just a different past participle. You and me are both singular."
Yeah, that was. I think that was probably more of an Austrian accent than a German one.
I don't do. You know me. I throw whatever. I throw it against the wall, and I let you.
Yeah, it hinted toward Asian for just a sentence there. Actually,
it's always all over the place. The fact that I even got Austrian, I'll take, man. Yeah, that's close enough.
It's close, very close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to get your opinion on this. I had a slight quibble.
Okay.
Slight quibble, and I wanted you to be the decider.
Okay.
61 across. Captain's cries.
We are in agreement. You don't even have to finish.
They are.
I know where you're going. Yeah.
AYS. Now, there's two problems here. Yeah. First of all, I believe I, as it's used at sea, would be AYES. Yeah. Second of all, generally, now I do understand when the captain would answer in the affirmative, he would say I, but generally, it's the crewman who's saying,
what phrase does this whole thing?
Aye, sir.
Aye, Captain. Aye, sir.
Captain.
Aye, sir. He's not saying it to them.
Right,
now, he could say it to them, but he could also say bologna sandwich to them.
He could say whatever
in this
he
context, for a crossword clue, it should be the cries to a captain, I think.
Yeah,
I have it written down in my notes, Brendan. This is why we have a podcast together, because we think a lot. As much as we disagree, and as much as I have to sit here and listen to booger stories half the afternoon, like, we agree on a lot of stuff, man.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
We do.
I'm with you on that, man. Good job.
Thank you.
Good job. I mean, you know what? If I wouldn't have got this puzzle, and I almost didn't, I would have played it under protest because of that.
I would have accepted gladly.
You would have?
Yeah, absolutely. Do you have anything else for Tuesday? There was one quick thing I wanted to mention, but I want to check first because I said a couple in a row there.
No, man, you never have to check with me.
All right. One down.
Jesus, Brendan, you're stepping all over my stuff.
One down. The Haunted Mansion or Splash Mountain at Disneyland, and that's Ride. And this is my Irish grandpa, Jerry. He was just a stone cold cool, kept his cool under any circumstances. And this is the degree to which he kept his cool, Greg. I was 6 years old, family vacation, the only time I've ever been to Disney World. My grandfather accompanied us, and he fell asleep on Thunder Mountain. The roller coaster. Fell asleep on a roller coaster.
That is a cool coaster. Was he like narcoleptic or just that cool?
Just decided walking around a lot all day. Why not take an opportunity to catch a few winks on Thunder Mountain?
Yeah. You want that guy under pressure, man.
Yeah. Takes a nap anywhere. Doesn't care.
Wow, that is impressive.
Yeah.
Let's take it to Wednesday.
All right, Wednesday, August 12th. This was and forgive me if I don't get your name right. This was Adesina Okoiki, and I believe it was her crossword, New York Times crossword puzzle debut.
Maiden voyage here?
Yep. Yeah. And the theme was revealed in the answer, Ohio players. Of course, this was a theme close to my heart. 4 answers where the beginning were Ohio sports players. So you had Bengal Tiger, as in Cincinnati Bengals, Brown Betty, Cleveland Browns, Red, White, and Blue, Cincinnati Reds, and Indian food, as in the Cleveland Indians. And Greg, I will say Browns is the greatest sports team name. And I'll tell you why. Because old Paul Brown showed up to the meeting, and everyone else was doing, we're going to be the Bears. We'll be the Colts. We'll be the 49ers. And he just went, it's my team. We're the Browns. I'm
Yes,
Paul
sir.
Brown. We're the Browns.
Do you think they delicately tried to talk him out of it for like?
Yeah.
Sir, it is. I just want to point out that most of the other teams, they have it's like animals and things like that. Or usually like a little more of a. It's nobody else is doing that. There's no. There's no Joneses.
Right. I see that. Well, we're the Browns. I own the team, and we are the Browns.
Okay, sir. Yeah. It's
yeah.
I just one more. I just want to point out that we might get ridiculed a little bit in that, it just seems a little self-aggrandizing.
I already compromised from Paul Brown's football team that he owns. Okay,
okay, sir. Yeah, and again, sir, thank you for doing that because first of all, there's just not enough room on the helmets and the jerseys and things like that. Yeah. What if we did this, sir? How about as a compromise? What if we're the Browns, okay, but we just don't put the team name on our helmets?
All right, we'll go with orange helmets.
And just no picture of you on the helmets like you were asking before.
Yeah, that's tough. I don't know. I talked to a guy. He said it is the 40s and there is no technology to put a picture on a helmet. So I will allow that.
Okay, good. I do. Someday we're going to have that technology, sir, and I believe there'll be a team in Florida with an effeminate pirate drawn on.
I do think the only thing that it would have rounded out the theme nicely. I think if they would have worked in the Crew or the Blue Jackets just to get the three major cities.
It was only Cincinnati and Cleveland. I feel bad for the Columbus people.
Yeah, but both of those are hard to work. The Crew's hard to work in because they were doing it as sort of a player, specifically Bengal instead of Bengals. So I don't know what you call a crew member. You'd have to write crew member, like crew. They're not just putting the team name in.
Oh yeah, you have to have something at the end. Yeah, crew member or
they're taking the S off to make it literally a Cleveland Brown, a Cincinnati Red.
2 Live Crew.
Yeah, but
it would have been the
Crew,
second. It would have been the last.
But Crew even. Yeah, right. Yeah. Well,
it's
Blue Jacket would have been easier, but that's a tough clue.
What about a basketball team too? They didn't have the Cavs in there.
Yeah. No.
It's a nice puzzle though. It is a nice puzzle.
It's a good puzzle.
57 down. Reverential poem. The answer is ode, and I know we've hit this before, but good God, they're going to this one a lot lately. I mean, they gotta sit it on the bench for a while. Ode is definitely, if it's not just in the Bonefish Grill Hall of Fame. It is in the top 3 of the Bonefish Grill Hall of Fame. I'm calling it right here, Brendan. Do you concur?
Not only do I concur, it almost requires of us like a back room in the Hall of Fame.
Like a VIP room. Yeah.
No. Where you put stuff that's been on the shelf for too long, you put it in the back because you're saying the visitors have already seen this. We need it. They're using it so much that it's like, okay, enough with Ode. Everyone's seen it that's came here.
I like where you're going with this. I just want to make sure that people do know they don't do that kind of thing with the food. The seafood's always fresh at the Bonefish Grill.
Oh,
you're saying that like, hey, we're gonna, not rotate stock or something. It's always fresh. Brendan and I are big fans.
It's always fresh.
Okay,
even the specials. A lot of places you'll go, they'll tell you don't ever get a fish special because the fish special means they're trying to get rid of fish. Not at the Bonefish Grill. You don't have to worry about that. It's all special, really.
Yeah.
And again, we have no legal or illegal. We have no affiliation whatsoever.
None whatsoever. They so far have not acknowledged our existence, but we're hoping.
40 down, Greg. The fourth one was, quote, terrible. And that's Ivan.
Yeah.
Ivan the Terrible. Do you happen to know what the fifth one was?
Ivan the Benevolent?
No, it was actually Ivan the also not so great. Terrible was taken, but he also not a great guy, so they gave him that one. Didn't roll off the tongue quite as cleanly.
33 across, blank heap, David Copperfield antagonist. That's Uriah. Brendan, do you remember something else about Uriah Heep from this podcast?
Oh, yeah. I know what it means, and it means we're going to get some of those sweet...
This is a thing I never seen before. It's called Easy Little One. Easy Little One.
Anytime the clues or the answers come up that have to do with songs that I know, Gangnam Style, Uriah Heep.
Gangnam Style. If we could get both those songs, and somehow, if we get rich enough from the inevitable advertising that's going to come pouring in for this podcast, if we could get both, like commission those guys to sort of do like a, what do they call that when two songs blend together?
A mashup.
This is a thing I never seen before. It's called Open Crossword Style. Those are the two theme songs for this podcast.
Yeah. 23 across.
Let's try that again. You do the second part, okay?
Yeah. No, it's better when we both hit it.
I don't think so, man.
Okay,
I don't think so.
Let's try it.
This is a thing I never seen before. It's called...
I blew it.
Come on, man.
I forgot about its called.
Come
I thought
on.
it's cut off at never seen before.
You want... This is a thing I never seen before. It's called...
Open Crossword Style.
Nice. Good job. Yeah.
23 across. Auto safety feature preventing skidding for short. That's ABS, anti-lock braking system. Now, you know what else is an auto safety feature that really only came around in the past 10 years? And it's that strip of rumble strips. Some people call them drunk bumpers or whatever. But that strip of rumble strips on the side of the highway, where if you drift, it starts rumbling. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I use them all the time.
Yeah, me too. And it makes me wonder. I mean, those are relatively new. Did just everyone die before those? What was going on before those came around?
Well, I mean, I don't think everyone died, but yeah, I mean, it's a precautionary. I think it's one of the greatest inventions of the 20th century.
I mean, they must have lowered auto deaths by 6,000%, Greg. Because you and me make a lot of long drives. I rely heavily on those things. I'll take a nap knowing those things.
Don't say that, man.
Yeah,
You're not
if it's
supposed to put
straight
that
for
out
a while,
there,
I'll
dummy.
take a little nap and I'll know those things will wake me up. No problem, you know?
Of course you're taking a nap because you're driving in a 103-degree car. Let's get to Thursday, man.
All right, Thursday.
This one was a toughie.
It was a John Olson, and this was very peculiar for me, Greg, because I went 6 for 7 this week. This was the only one I didn't get, and I don't really know why I didn't get it, and I'll explain that.
I can explain it to you. You didn't get all the letters in the right places. That's why you didn't get it.
Well, yes, but I'll tell you, and it's a weird story. But how'd you do this week?
I went 5 for 7, so we're pretty much the same score. But I missed this as well, and I got to say, I should have got it. I got caught up in the northwest corner, up around Seattle, Portland area. One down was Travels a la Theodore Roosevelt, 1909/1910. Those are safaris. I knew it was something like that. And the one that really bothers me that I didn't get was one across, block letters, SPF. They use this a lot, and I should have seen it because I'm like you. I'm of Irish descent, but way more pale than you, and I use a lot of. I have it on right now. I've got it on right now. I mean, I use a lot of this stuff, and I'm going to go ahead and nominate that for the clue of the week. I think it's a good clue. Block letters, SPF.
John Olson, you've just won the one down.
I didn't even win it. I think we need to wait till the end to award it. He's a nominee.
No, a clue of the. There's multiple clues of the week. We had 2 last week. You can have more than one clue of the week. You just got a clue of the week. It's like the Emmys, Greg. It's like the Emmys.
Fine. Yeah, exactly. I just said the word nominee.
Yeah, but no, it's not just one category. He's a. Okay, fine. You want me to take? Sorry, John Olson.
That is the greatest undoing of a segment that I have ever heard on this podcast. That was genius, Brendan. Genius. He went down the scale. It was genius.
Well, what I didn't like, and confirming you, and I got it, but I don't like the use of safaris, and who knows, this could have been changed by the editors in the clue, but the use of safaris as a verb, that doesn't sit right with me. I don't think anyone uses that really. Travels a la. So they mean
no. That could be read as travels, the plural of travel.
No, because they're saying travels a la means travels like.
Yeah, exactly.
So he safaried.
But he also travel. It could be a verb. His travel, or actually that's a plural noun. Travels like Theodore Roosevelt and.
Yeah, so if you're traveling like him, it's a verb, and I don't like it as a verb.
But it also could be the plural noun.
No, because I think they're saying traveling like him. If someone travels like Theodore Roosevelt, if it was a plural noun, they would say travels of Theodore Roosevelt. Or safaris. I think. Yeah, I guess it could be. It could.
I think you're probably right, but I think that it could be that way.
Now, let me explain what happened to me, which I still don't understand.
I know what happened. You didn't put all the right letters
Stop
in the right
it.
place.
Let me say yes, of course, but
it's a big mystery about why you either get it or you don't. You quit whining.
I'm not whining. You played
I got
38 puzzles.
I got 3 out of 7 last week, and you didn't see me whining.
I did. I saw you protesting.
Legitimate
3
protest.
of those.
You want to protest?
I'm not protesting. I'm absolutely not protesting. It was my own fault through carelessness.
Either
you will not
file a formal protest or just accept that you got beat. Explain. Go ahead and explain how you got beat.
You explained what happened to you, and I didn't yell at you. I'm telling you what happened to me.
I didn't make it like a big mystery. Like you're not going to bullet. We all know. Go ahead.
Okay, so. I have everything in. Now, obviously, the theme, I should say, is the 3 Musketeers motto, one for all and all for one. There were 4 cross answers that included...
And here's the thing, Brennan. I'm sorry to interrupt, but I thought the theme for the 3 Musketeers was a lighter way to enjoy chocolate.
They did multiple themes depending on the situation. They would change it up depending on who they were dealing with.
Okay.
So you had 4 cross answers that included one and all in circled squares, and you basically had to swap those. So one for all or all for one.
Cool theme.
Well, it was a cool theme. The only thing that I didn't love...
Here we go.
I don't love when you end up... And look, I get it. This is a tough theme to pull off. It was cool. But I don't love when you end up with nonsense words in the puzzle. Do you know what I mean? Like the crosses ended up into just words that weren't words. I'm not a fan of that. I think.
Oh, you would have wanted it. Yeah, well, I've seen really good ones where
both.
That's so hard to do, man.
Hard to do.
Yeah, you're just being a little demanding.
Yeah,
and
so that's not
John Olson. If you're listening, Brendan's taking a shot at a puzzle, and he said he's going to do a Thursday. So I hope that you are as critical of his puzzle as he is of yours.
I'm not criticizing.
Sounds
I just
like criticism
don't love
to me.
it. But so here's
you still haven't told us why you didn't get it.
Okay, so let me tell you. So I have all those swapped. I'm not correct, right? I go through everything, and I just can't find anything wrong that I think is wrong. I can't find anything wrong. So I start saying, okay, maybe I'm missing the theme. I start messing around with putting rebuses in where I put one and all in both those boxes, which I'm like, that's not right. They don't do that usually with the circle. I start messing around with all of that. And then I'm like, that's not right. I cannot, and I'm just taking all this time. I can't figure out. I think that I put it back how it was supposed to be. I thought that with the ones and the alls swapped. I hit reveal puzzle. The only thing I had wrong were the circled boxes. So I think out of carelessness, the only thing I can figure out is that I put them back in correctly instead of swapping them. But I don't understand why I didn't have it right in the first. I must have had like a typo in one of them in the first place that I didn't realize. So I got everything right except the ones and the alls. So I think it was just a matter of pure carelessness in re-entering them. And I must have done it without swapping them because everything's right in there except the ones and the alls. So it was really weird. I wish there was like a go back so I could see what exactly I did. But once you reveal, there's no go back.
There you have it, folks. Brendan just sort of walked us through him doing the puzzle real time. We actually
no, I'm saying it was
took about an hour for him to complete the puzzle, and his recap took about an hour.
Your understanding of time is ridiculous. That took 20 seconds, and it was a weird thing.
You're right. Here's the thing, man. You're right, because when I fall asleep, I lose track of time.
Yeah, you're like my grandfather. He thought Thunder Mountain was an hour and a half long.
Your grandpa would have. He would have went into a coma had you told that thing.
But yeah, it was a weird way to fail because I still don't really know what I did wrong. Obviously I messed up, but 17 across.
Biggest thing you did wrong was tell us that story.
Sign the people want to know, Greg. 17 across, sign on a mountain highway. That's falling rock zone. It actually was part of the theme. So at the end it was phoning rock zol. But whenever I drive by one of those things, I go, what am I supposed to do here? You know what I mean? Like, what is this? A falling rock? Great. So when something smashes through my windshield at 65 miles per hour, at least I'll know in my dying thought, oh yeah, this is a zone where that happens.
Excellent point, Brendan. Excellent point. Yeah. Very good point. I like that a lot. I got a couple of things on this Thursday, but we are kind of running out of time, so I vote we move till Friday.
All
to
right.
Friday.
Why don't you hit us with one of your Thursdays? Because do you want to hit us with one? We can go a little over.
Well, I did 21 across, a simple bike trick, and the answer is wheelie. And I've admitted on this podcast before and gotten ridiculed by you. I never was able to do one. I don't think it's that simple of a trick.
It's not, and I wouldn't have ridiculed you. Now, popping a wheelie, that's one thing. That's a little, when you just pop it up for a second.
I know, that's what we've talked about this. I can't pop a wheelie or ride a wheelie.
Riding a wheelie is intense. Popping a wheelie.
I can't pop a wheelie.
Well, if you can't pop a wheelie, that's pathetic. And
I know. Okay, but
what do you mean you can't pop a wheelie?
I just was never able to. Okay, I have a lot of upper body strength. I just never was able to execute it.
Can I say something?
Sure.
You make me sick.
Fine.
It was a little harsh for not being able to pop a wheelie. Friday, August 4th. You don't make me sick, Greg. I'm a big fan.
No. Obviously, I make you sick.
Friday, August 14th. This was a Nam Jin Yoon.
Stick with that "you make me sick" thing because I'm going to return the favor here in a second.
This was a Nam Jin Yoon. Themeless. Here's a quick crossword tip. We've given it before. Drill it into your brain. 30 down. Mushroom eaten in ramen. If they say the word mushroom, it's enoki. Okay? It's not portobello.
That is the first thing you need to know about crosswords. If you see the M, just M-U-S, just start writing enoki.
It's never shiitake. You're not getting any other. You're not getting other answers.
It's certainly not white mushrooms or button mushrooms. Yeah,
no,
you're right,
no,
man.
Forget about it.
Yeah. Well, I want to talk about 12 down. That is words with friends on one's phone say? And the answer is group chat. Now, Brendan, I know this is a sensitive subject for you.
Oh, don't.
Come on. I know, and I think you should at least
Greg.
finally, you should have, we all want to know what happened, okay? And I think you should just speak your piece and get it out there. Let me tee it up. Brendan was in a group chat with some of his buddies, some of his comedian buddies in New York, and it was basically they were all in a Jenny Craig group together. They wanted to lose weight, and Brendan got kicked out of the group chat. He was dismissed from there, and his relationships with these comedians have been strained ever since. And I just think it's time to bury the hatchet with these guys, but he won't. He's really if you say. Whenever I bring this story up, he gets angry, and I'm sorry to make you angry.
I get angry because none of those things were true. First of all, it was a group chat about weight loss. It wasn't Jenny Craig. I, at the time, was using the Weight Watchers app, as were some of them members of the group.
These guys, this was Ari and Casey and Andrew?
I don't know. Of a few others. Certainly, it was not Jenny Craig. Second of all, I left the group voluntarily, Greg.
Out of anger, though, right?
Yes, out of extreme anger. And third of all, relationships have been in no way strained. They're all my close friends. So that's the story.
Well, I'm not going to bring up names on here because that's inappropriate. But I know you still harbor some ill will towards one of these individuals. And who's a great comedian and a good guy, but I'd like to see you guys patch things up is all I'm saying.
I harbor ill will towards nobody in that group. They're all my best, my best friends. Stop this. End of discussion. Okay. And the amount of times you've told these people I was in a Jenny Craig, kicked out of a Jenny Craig group is, it's borderline abusive behavior. It's borderline abusive. Now, Greg, 3 down, Chicago Auto Show debut of 1989. That's the Miata, of course, the legendary Mazda Miata. Yeah. You ever noticed guys who drive Miatas can never really quite fit into a Miata?
Yeah, it's tricky.
You never get a slim young guy in a Miata. It's always a divorced dad with a little paunch, and he's kind of jammed in there like a sardine, But
I feel like it's more of a girl car, anyways. God, I dated a girl that had a Miata for a while, and she was very, very attractive, lovely girl, doing well for herself now. Lives in Ohio, actually.
A lot of times you give me a hard time about my stories, but mine are somewhat related to the topic, and I'm not giving you any trouble for that.
She had a Miata.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm glad to know it. I like to know about my friend. I'm not abusive towards you. It's good for you. Now, I got a nomination for you.
Okay.
You're the Bonefish Grill Master.
Sure.
You handle the Hall of Fame, and I don't know if we've put this in.
Curator, if you will.
Yeah.
Curator.
Yeah. I don't know if we've put this in yet. I don't believe we've had, but much like Odes, they've been hitting it hard.
Okay.
And that is 49 down, blank page. The answer is op-ed.
Nice job. Nice spot. They've been going to the well way too many times with this one.
Welcome to the Bonefish Grill, most commonly used crossword words Hall of Fame. You're joined by some greats like Eels, Oreos, Ash, Ode.
Yeah.
So
Eels has got to be right up there. Standing room only, SRO.
SRO, that's a big timer. A big timer.
Brendan, 17 across, coffee order similar to a latte. That's a flat white. You're our sort of inside expert on this. You did work at Starbucks as a barista. Can you explain the subtle differences between a flat white and a latte?
I cannot. They came out. Obviously, I think flat whites was a drink, but Starbucks started serving flat whites long after I left. And I'll be honest.
Okay, man, but you still could keep up with it you're the resident expert on this stuff. You're supposed to stay current with it, man.
What's that?
You're the resident expert. You should stay current on this stuff.
I don't know why I said what's that. I heard you. I thought if I said what's that, I could think up an answer of what a flat white was in the time it took you to say it again.
Fine.
But I didn't think anything. I think it is a latte.
We don't want to hear I think. We don't want to hear I think. Go to the next go to Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday, August 15th. This was a great Joe Dipietro. Really great.
Joe, I believe we've worked with, yes?
Oh yeah. Now,
Joe, thanks a lot. This was the hardest puzzle that I've ever attempted.
Really? Well, first of all, I should say Friday was my record for Friday. 14 minutes on the Friday. I've never done a Friday in less than like 25. So Friday was my record. The Saturday was hard. Absolutely.
Well, the Saturday, it only took me 34 minutes to quit.
That's pretty quick. Don't frown on that, Craig. That's an accomplishment. 19 across, smallest possible band. That's a duo. And Greg, I'll tell you right now, there are one-man bands across this country
just furious,
stomping their cymbaled feet in protest while they simultaneously play an angry song on the accordion and blow the harmonica with rage.
That is the inside of the week. We don't have a segment for that, but that's the inside of the week. Nice job, Brendan. Nice job.
Thank you.
That was good. I've got a problem. I mean, I've got some. I did so poorly on this. I can't play it under protest because if I got 17 more clues, I still wouldn't have got it. I thought it was a very difficult puzzle, but no 11 across, no blank. The answer is MSG. That's just how are you supposed to know no MSG? That's just.
Yeah, I mean, that one is really
it's completely dependent on the downs. That's not a sad, not even a sad. It just doesn't make any sense. No and MSG are very loosely linked. Brennan, it just bothers me. Did you
have anything in on your first pass?
What are you talking about?
When you first went through it, because I
had a G, I had glow, glow.
Because I immediately, when I went through on the acrosses, I immediately put in no moss.
Oh, no, I had no way. No way.
Okay.
I did. Yeah, I did no way.
Yeah.
No way.
No moss.
No moss is good, but no MSG. Yeah. Come on, man. I mean, sure. I would say there's several NBA players that refuse to play in Madison Square Garden, and it's just, and the thing is,
that's not what it means.
What?
That's not what they mean. That MSG, it's a food additive. It gives some people headaches. It's so you'll see that on labels or in Chinese food restaurants.
Okay.
Now, this brings up a good point, and we're running long. But do you think this is kind of, I guess, a crossword philosophy question? Should each answer be solvable on its own? Or should it?
I do think that, yes, in a way. Now, it may take some brilliance.
Right.
But I think that you should be able to, that's why I think no MSG, it's just limitless possibilities there.
Limitless, right. So I guess maybe it shouldn't be necessarily solvable, but there should be a couple options.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, we're over an hour on this podcast, and you're bringing up a deep philosophical question that. I'm not sure. I'm not sure we really want to. We need to give that a whole episode or something, right? Man. I mean, then, come on.
Then I need to skip right to 2 down. Finer cut, usually. Uh-oh. That is the 1 down clue of the week. The answer is side A. I thought that's just a great misdirect. It makes sense. Cut is a term for a track.
But what finer is that a
better? The better cut.
Yeah.
You don't like it?
I don't
You go
like
no?
it because finer is nobody ever says that track is finer than the other track.
Okay. Let me offer you that because I had 2 Joe Dipietros marked for the clue of the week. And
I think I know the other one. I think I know the other one because
What would you guess?
Is it 45 down?
No, what's 45 down? Let me sample that.
Time spent close to home at bat.
Joe Dipietro, you have won the one down clue of the week with time spent close to home at bat. Wonderful. Good little misdirect. Clean, nice and easy. Beautiful.
Yeah, that was a nice one. I felt like it was really,
You found it. You found it. I love it.
Yeah,
I say
good.
that's better than what I was gonna.
Yeah. What was yours? I'm curious.
Well, I thought a pretty clever clue because the way the clue was phrased made you read it wrong. Was 15 across, one taking a bow, and the answer was archer.
Yep.
So it's really one taking a bow,
Yep.
which makes sense. But when you say taking you assume bow.
I think you got to give him the harmonica on that one.
Joe Dipietro, you are the first and so far only, well, yes, first and only, one down double clue of the week winner.
That just does not happen, Brendan.
Again, there are no prizes except for your own personal glory, but we're
Nice
giving that
job,
to you.
Joe D. Wow.
Yeah, big work there from Joe
I
D.
tried to shove violin on that one in there. It's the same. It's Bo and Archer about this. It's the same.
Yeah, I was looking for cellist. I was, so we better time-wise jump to Sunday, August 16th. This was at Francis Heaney. The title was Alternative Cinema. Basically, you had alternative titles, a bunch of clues that were alternative titles for movies, and that were other
actual
movies.
Titles. Yeah.
So, for instance, alternative title for The Dirty Dozen would have been 12 Angry Men. Great Sunday theme. I thought it was very cool.
I thought it was good. Yeah, I thought it was. This is one that was a very solvable Sunday, but I got down to like where I had. I had about 3 or 4 areas where I was like, I just don't know what to do here. I don't think I'm going to be able to finish this puzzle. And then I just started throwing things in. And if you ever, like, I do these puzzles a lot when I'm lying in bed, and like I solved it, and the music came on. It's like da 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 da. And does it ever like jolt you when you're like, oh, I didn't think I was going to solve like it?
Yeah.
Like the music came on. I'm like, what's going on
Yeah.
here? Like,
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I thought it was going to take me about another hour to solve it, and it just and I'm like, what?
Yeah. No, definitely. Oh man, shoot, I forgot what I was going to tell you. Oh, you know what? I've changed my technique a little bit. I used to, when I have an idea of something.
So you're not cheating now? Is that what you're saying?
I never. Hey, we've said this before.
I know,
you make fun of me all you want. You do whatever you want.
You don't cheat on the puzzle.
I don't cheat on the puzzle.
Comedy crossword puzzle. I was just kidding.
Yeah, I cheat in life. I lie, I steal. 2 things I don't do. I don't cheat on my fiance, and I don't cheat on the crossword puzzle. I will cheat in everything else. But you know what I've started to do is, and I found it's leaded to quicker times and better solves. When I used to, when I had an answer that I said, that's probably not it, but it fits, my first pass, I used to not put it in.
Yeah.
Now I just throw it in.
Shove it in there. That's good.
I throw it in, and it's like, worst comes to worst, you delete it, but a lot of times it's right,
That's a nice tip, man.
Right.
It's a nice, go with your first instinct kind of thing.
Now, 56 across, Greg, I think this deserves some discussion. Monopoly token elected by an internet vote. That's cat. Now, in 2013, the cat replaced the iron, okay? I'm fine with that. Are you okay with that? I've never was a big fan of the iron.
I liked the iron.
Time. Did you like the iron? Okay, so we've already got one problem. But let me give you, I don't like what they're messing around with over there at Parker Brothers. Is Parker Brothers Monopoly?
I think so. Yeah.
in 2017, they took out thimble, boot, and wheelbarrow. And
boot was my favorite one.
boot was the best one by far, because you had this idea of a tramp kind of tramping around, building his real estate fortune with that beat up old. He started with a beat up old pair of boots,
and he never forgot where he came from. He kept that beat up pair of boots.
Yeah, sometimes he'd give a guy a break. I remember when I was at. Why you stay at Park Place for a minute? Go ahead. I remember.
Man. Yeah,
I remember
all you had to do is
when I was
look down at his feet, and he remembers where he came from.
And so now, with his replacements, the current lineup, I don't even know how these kids these days are playing Monopoly. The current lineup is the Battleship, which is a classic. Then they've got the Cat, which is a replacement. The Race Car, the Dog, and the Top Hat, which are classics.
Yeah.
And then they've got T-Rex. What does a dinosaur know about real estate, first of all? They've got a rubber ducky. That's a children's toy.
Yeah, this is not a children's game.
And then they've got Penguin. I'm okay with Penguin. That's fine. That's fine.
There's a penguin? That's cool.
There's a penguin,
like
yeah. But they've revamped the whole lineup.
Yeah, I don't care for it. I'm not playing anymore. Now, was it one of the Parker brothers or all of them? I have a feeling it was one brother.
Yeah, just one guy who wanted. We
probably
got
contributed nothing to the game, and then they're like, he's our brother. Just let him come up with something. Yeah. What do you want to do? I want to have a T-Rex.
Yeah. How you want to rub a ducky?
Fine, Steve. Steve Parker, you're fine. Mom said we had to let him do something. 84 down, blank Ali, parentheses boxer, to give you a hint. Of course, the answer is Layla. That is the daughter of Muhammad Ali, which is right over Brendan's left shoulder. And if you did the New York Times crossword puzzle and knew nothing about boxing, you would assume that Muhammad Ali's daughter was a much more accomplished boxer than Muhammad Ali.
Muhammad Ali has never been mentioned. Layla Ali is once a week. I think she had 8 fights. I think she had. Speaking of the poster over my shoulder, I have the poster of Muhammad Ali when he knocked down Sonny Liston in the first minute of the first round in 1963 after Sonny Liston really talked a lot of trash in the lead up to the fight. And I just want to mention I was doing I had a Zoom call, and my friend Anthony DeVito, very funny comedian, said, "I've always seen that more as a Sonny Liston poster."
Man, one of my favorite sports biographies I've ever read is Sonny Liston. It's a really interesting. He's got some St. Louis ties, actually, in my hometown.
He's got some St. Louis ties, and he's got some mob ties.
Yeah, he's got some mob ties, and he was a really interesting guy. And it died. His death is a mystery. And some people thought he threw that fight. You gotta read that book, Brendan, because you're a guy that likes combat sports, and it's really.
I
would
love to
book.
read that book. I would love to read that. I read Ali, I believe, and I got to read that book. But I think that's been one down for today. Anything? Oh, by the way, thank you guys all so much who have been reaching out and asking us questions and commenting on Twitter and Instagram. It's at One Down Podcast. We're really building kind of a cool community there where we can talk about the podcast. And there's even some of these creators getting involved, and it's just a cool, fun place to come.
Oh, yeah. Some of the big dogs. We're talking celebrities. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So go ahead and throw a follow over there because it's becoming a fun place to kind of air your grievances if that's what you want to do, or just point stuff out. Just no spoilers. That's all we ask.
No spoilers. Yeah, no spoilers.
No spoilers. And I will be at Hilarities in Cleveland Thursday, this coming Thursday, the 20th through Saturday, the 22nd. They're doing it very safe, social distancing, diminished capacity. I'm looking forward to it. Getting back to live stand-up. I'm very excited. It should be a fun show. So if you're in the greater Cleveland area, consider coming out to that. Tickets are on their website.
It's a great venue. Brendan's a great comedian. You're going to enjoy this show. Brendan, I've got something I'd like to say to take us out.
Please.
This is a thing I never seen before. It's called
Crossword Style.
One Down is hosted by Greg Warren and Brendan Eyre. Produced and edited by John Baldwin. Our theme song is written and performed by Henry Phillips. Executive producers Matt Kleinschmidt and Robert Kelly for the Laugh Button Podcast.
One down the comedy crossword